Live from Teapot Studios in Scotland is the name of the album. That's Tim Eadie. This Saturday, Tim joins Ross Ainsley for a gig at Tarland Festival in Aberdeenshire. Then on the 28th of October, Liverpool Philharmonic, on to Hereford, Newcastle, Mallaig in Lochaber, Cockermouth in Cumbria and Stevington in Bedfordshire. That's it, I'm afraid. Thanks for listening. If you've missed any recent folk shows, you can find them on the BBC Sounds app and you can subscribe to the folk show so it's easier to get them. I'll be back next Wednesday from 9 when my guest will be Jake Blunt, who's made an amazing record. Thanks for joining me. This was a 7 Digital production for BBC Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 10 o'clock. This is Anthony Birchley. Liz Truss has welcomed the release of 5 British nationals who are being held by pro-Russian forces in eastern Ukraine. The Britons are among 10 detainees who've been freed in a prisoner swap negotiated by Saudi Arabia. They include Aidan Aslin and Sean Pinner, who'd been facing a death sentence, and John Harding. Our diplomatic correspondent, James Landale, says the motive behind the decision to release them is still unclear.
These negotiations for the fate of these men has been going on for months now, and there has been no expectation of any signal of any move from the Russian front. The question that diplomats are asking tonight, and they don't know what the answer to this is Mr. Putin on one hand threatening, but also making a gesture of goodwill on the other, all at the same time.
Earlier, President Putin announced that 300,000 military reservists would be called up to fight in Ukraine. But demonstrations have been held in Russia to protest against the plans. A human rights organisation says the authorities have arrested at least 1,200 people in more than 30 Russian cities. Danny Eberhard reports.
No to mobilisation, they chanted in St. Petersburg, where there have been large numbers of arrests. In Moscow too, black-clad riot police surrounded groups of demonstrators, manhandling or marching them off to vans. In one Siberian city, Ulan-Ude, a protester held a sheet of paper saying, "Our husbands, fathers and brothers don't want to kill other people's husbands and fathers." In some places, protests are only dozens strong. But these are the biggest shows of dissent in Russia since the early days of the war.
Businesses, schools and hospitals should see their predicted winter energy bills almost halve with the confirmation of a massive government support package. The scheme, which will be reviewed after 3 months, has been broadly welcomed, but critics say longer-term help is needed. An independent economic think tank has warned Liz Truss that her plans to cut taxes could cause significant damage to the public finances. The IFS says UK borrowing is on an unsustainable level and the cuts are a gamble that may not pay off. BBC research suggests mistakes in maternity care in England last year will cost the NHS nearly £8 billion in compensation claims. The sum is 4 times the annual salary of all maternity doctors, nurses and midwives in England. Jill Walton, the chief executive of the Royal College of Midwives, says it's clear what needs to happen.
If we invest in maternity services now, then the compensation costs will go down. But actually the most important thing is that women and families won't have the poor care, the poor outcomes, the devastating outcomes that we all know about.
Spectacular view of the planet Neptune's been captured by NASA's recently launched James Webb Space Telescope. It's the clearest image that's been taken of the planet's rings and dust bands for 30 years. And in the Nations League tonight, Scotland beat Ukraine 3-0. The weather cloudy with rain across Northern Ireland and Scotland. Northwest England and Wales will also see a few showers. Elsewhere dry with clear spells. That's the BBC News at 3 minutes past 10.
Thank you very much, and thanks to Mark Radcliffe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Let's go. It's Trevor Nelson's Magnificent 7.
It is indeed. Welcome to the show. Hope you've had a good day, everybody. You ready for 7 big tunes all stacked up nicely for you? I'd like to know how your day's been. If you want to get in touch with me, you know what to do. Drop me a text, drop me WhatsApp, or even go into my email.
The Magnificent 7 on BBC Radio 2.
Go on, I double dare you've never texted the show. Give us a text tonight, 88291. I'd like to know your name, where you are. WhatsApp 08000 288 291 or email Trevor at bbc.co.uk.